What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Aging Potheads. I am your boy, Big Brother Boss, aka the Funky Monk. And with me, as always, is the beautiful Miss Candy with an X. What's going on, Miss Candy?
Hey, I'm doing a little bit better. I've been kind of under the weather the past couple days, so but I'm all right.
All
I'm
right,
fight
I'm
through
glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling better. Everybody, take this time to go ahead and share with a friend. Let us know where you're watching from, and then let us know what you are smoking tonight, because we are about to blaze up. Da-da-da. Got you a little bit,
it.
huh?
Mm. On my throat.
I get it. I get it. excuse me. Oh,
Oh,
excuse me.
I
Yes,
had it
y'all.
up high too. Yeah, I have it up high.
All right.
Ah.
Now, man. And I am smoking tonight. I am smoking a good indica called King Louis. And
Mm.
it is an indica, and those who know King Louis is the business. I
Yeah,
am
that's
not not gonna
that's
lie.
strong.
King Louis is the business. It is an indica. This is one of the more stronger, if not one of the strongest, um, indicas.
Strong.
Those who know whether it be concentrate or flower know this is a very strong indica. If you are not even indica smokers, it will knock them on their ass. Like
Mhm.
sleep, like couch lock at least. For me, it actually will put me to sleep eventually. Um, well, it has a nice taste. It is one of those. It's one of the better indicas. I would suggest this for um, medium to very experienced smokers. This is not to be messed with.
No, you can
Hits
start with
this
King
one hits your body with a 1-2. It's gonna hit your body hard, and it's gonna hit your head, and you're gonna be sitting there stuck like, God, how did I get here?
What
You know,
day is
yeah,
it?
exactly. That is one of the one that is called King Louis. King Louis, whenever you see it, you should want to buy it. It's normally always on the top shelf. It's not You're not going to ever see this like in the bargain basement
It's not no mid. There's no,
unless you're
mm-mm.
trying to get
You
rid of
gotta
it.
pay some money for that.
Yeah, King Louis is something you got to pay money for. So if you are really interested in that strong indica, if you're a real strong indica person, King Louis is the one you should get. Splurge on it. Don't the price. Don't worry about the price. And that's going. Before I get to your strain candy, folks, you get what you pay for.
Yes.
So understand that. Um, I'm not telling you to go out and splurge your whole weed budget, but also understand that if you're like buying um, cheap weed or inexpensive weed, and you're like, well, the price of that King Louis eighth, I can get a quarter for, I can get a half ounce for. Understand that King Louis eighth is strong. So when you see it for $50, $60 an eighth, you just might want to splurge and grab it. I'm telling you, it's not gonna last you like a normal eighth. Now, if
Yeah.
you if
You're
you
not gonna
roll
hit
it,
that.
yeah,
You're not gonna hit that like that.
exactly. So just know, you take a couple of puffs of this, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. So I gave it 5 blunts. It's always done me good no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always done me good. So King Louis, y'all, it should be in a lot of dispensaries, but understand it's not going to be on the lower tiers. You're gonna
Yeah,
see it. You're gonna see it on the high tiers. Don't let the price fool you. It is definitely worth the price.
it is. I've
Let us
heard
know.
nothing but that about King Louis. I have yet to try it.
Uh huh.
Um, But I
Yeah,
definitely, there's a
yeah,
time and a place for King Louis. Like
yeah. There's a
that's
time
an
and place for
Asian weed, right? Right.
yeah. There is a time and a place. Now, what you smoking on?
Oh, yeah, well, it's ain't kind of boring compared to what you got. This is like a wedding cake,
You know what? Wedding cake is good, but go ahead and let us know how you felt about it.
This one is pretty strong. This is actually still that one that, and I think I gave it a 4, but I meant to give it a 4.5. Um, this is still that, as you can see, it's still quite a bit in here because this is like you can't hit this
What's that? Is that the
all the
banana
time.
one you had last time?
No, the banana one is still in the, that's a little blue tube I had with a little
Okay,
straw. That's
okay.
this
So this
guy
is
right
this is the
here.
wedding cake.
But this one was the one I got from Shango that was given to me a couple of weeks ago, and it's still fire. Like it will put you on your ass. Make it knocks me out.
Uh huh.
Um, but
Now you
it's
said
the resin of it. Like it's a
okay.
really really strong.
It's a live resin.
Yeah, it's the resin. So it's not oil. It's resin. So it makes it like it's stronger. Than regular wedding cake. Very much stronger.
I get it. Wedding cake is a good brand. Not a
Uh-huh.
good brand or a good strain.
Yeah.
It normally does lean indica, but it does have those sativa notes in it. Um,
Hmm.
definitely, y'all. Wedding cake, I believe in. Agree. If you disagree, let me know, Ms. Candy. That it's good for all levels of smokers.
It
Um,
is. It is because
yeah.
there's
Mhm.
other strains that you that aren't as strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but like flour, you can get it flour. Flour's not going to be as strong as this. So you can try that and start there, and
Yeah.
go a
Well,
little. Just people know their levels,
yeah.
like you have to know your level with weed. You can't just,
Mhm.
especially if you're a beginner, you can't just,
Mhm.
go
Especially with
hard. You have
especially
to,
with a concentrate.
yeah,
I know we talked about it last week, y'all, but yeah, if you're new to smoking, you definitely have to experiment with yourself as well with the different strains.
yeah,
I know some people who really can't mess with concentrates because it hit a little too hard
yeah,
and too fast. Some folks like weed that just like their strain to come on a little slower. You know what I
yeah,
mean? If
mm-hmm,
you want to really control your high, you got to get to know yourself as well
mm-hmm,
as your strain. Now, wedding cake is good, like and a good is in concentrate. It's a good flour. Most dispensaries should have it on different levels of quality. Um,
mm-hmm.
I always recommend the mid tier, y'all. If your budget says lower tier, do so. But if you can afford the better stuff, always get the better stuff.
Yeah,
I hate to sound bougie, y'all, but you know, I smoke a lot and I want my high to be my high.
yeah,
And so, your mileage may vary as people say. So
mm-hmm,
definitely be where you want it to be. But definitely, like I said, always know yourself as well as your body when it comes to getting high. You gave it 4 blunts. And
I
truthfully,
did.
I've smoked wedding cake before, and I would probably do the same thing. I'd probably give it 4 blunts too, um, because a lot of times it's different and inconsistent highs depending on who you are.
It is. I
Yeah,
thought I swear to God, I thought I gave 4.5 though. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, but I've had like flour wooden cake and I gave it a 4.0.
Uh-huh.
So, but this I would probably give it more closer to a 4.5.
Okay.
Um, because I smoke every day too.
Hmm.
So, like certain things, hit harder and some don't. Like it's just,
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, you have to just know what you can handle.
Yeah.
I can handle this because that's what I smoke. So
Yeah, I get it, and that's the whole thing, and that's one thing we have to let you folks know is that y'all
Yeah.
really, you really got to know how to smoke. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to
To
put
be
y'all
like
down.
elite here or like bougie.
Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know this, just to know yourself as well as your body, and
Right.
how you respond to um, different things. Now, the strain of the week is one of our best strains, y'all. Um, and this is another good strain like King Louis. This is Northern Lights. Now, Northern Lights is an indica. Um, it's strong
Mhm.
up there with King Louis, but with Northern Lights, you can get it in in varying qualities. You'll see Northern Lights on different tiers at your dispensary. I would suggest going for the higher tier Northern Lights because it will give you that strong effect. I would
Yeah.
recommend this for beginners who have tried indicas before. That's what I would recommend this strain for. Unlike King Louis, where I would recommend you have to be a real, potent smoker to
Hmm.
do that. But this one right here, Northern Lights, it is good enough for beginners who smoked a couple of times and are trying out indicas. Northern Lights is the one to start with. Is one of the more stronger indicas, but however, I don't think it has the knockout qualities that the King Louis would have. King Louis is like a 1-2 punch to your head, into your body,
Yeah.
and you toe up. Northern Lights, it'll help you go to sleep, but if you don't want to sleep, like in the middle of the day, you'll be all right. You'll be real draggy and sluggish, but you got it. Northern Lights also has better pain relief benefits.
Okay.
Northern Lights does take away a little bit of the pain, that type of thing, and that's just my experience with it. I like
Hmm.
Northern Lights. I'm not, like I said, I'm a sativa smoker, but I will use Northern Lights to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, Same like I'm a, I'm a work sparingly on this King Louis. I might even light up another strain because I don't want to fall asleep here.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But most definitely, y'all, let us know in the comments what your favorite strain is. Our strain of the week is Northern Lights. Northern
Mm.
Lights you should be able to get almost any dispensary on any different tiers. Like I said, I recommend the higher tier for this. If not, the mid tier will do you right
Mm.
at your local dispensary, y'all. And most definitely check that out, y'all. Now we're gonna talk about something, and I know a lot of y'all been waiting for somebody to talk about it, especially us, in terms of what happened last week at a Chicago restaurant.
Mm.
And what occurred, y'all, was there was a killing in a Chicago store. And a mother had went in to get her something to eat. Her son was out in the car. The woman began arguing with another patron in the store, to
Mm.
which he was threatening her and he threatened to hit her. And at one point, he hit her several times as her young son came in. Her young son pulled a gun out and shot the man.
Yeah.
And he died. The the mother and the son were initially charged with murder. They were initially charged with murder. There was a big blow up about it everywhere, and then the DAs did drop the charges. Now, my thing is, ooh, excuse me, and I'm gonna take
Hmm.
it. I'm gonna take it from this angle before I start my Gen X thoughts. I believe the charges shouldn't have been brought to begin with. Um, but as we talk about the passport bros, these other incels, these misogynistic men who got on and said after they saw the video that had she just shut the fuck up like he told her to, the whole situation wouldn't have been escalated. She escalated the situation when her son came in and started shooting like he was crazy and all sorts of shit like that. Men are saying that she had control of the situation from the jump. She could have shut up and did what he said to do. And this brother said, I don't give a fuck. He said, oh, my mama, if you say one more thing, I'm going to hit you. He delivered and
On his
she
granny.
delivered. And he put that on his granny. And like some people are joking on the internet, he met her 4 seconds later. And I'm not trying to make fun of it,
It's
people.
not funny, but some of it is like,
Yeah, some of it is very laughable, especially with what these guys are saying. Now, do you agree with that? Was there a way she could have de-escalated the situation, even though technically she was the victim?
I mean, I guess we all have the choice to choose to, escalate something or walk away from it. I don't think that's neither here nor there. Like, I mean, you're not, I mean, I'm sure she didn't go down there expecting to, get into it with anybody. She was there, and I still don't know exactly what happened to even get to where it got to that point.
Exactly.
Because I already know how I feel about it, and I know, I didn't want to have, I didn't, like I didn't want to invite that energy into me. Like I didn't want to get I didn't, and it's not that I didn't want to get angry for her at the situation. It's just, I got enough going on, and this is just going to add to my anger bandwidth. So I didn't want to do that. So I just kind of been keeping like a kind of a perimeter around the story and not really, just kind of shadow keeping up with it, like with people that post it and people that have been talking about it and what's been talked about on YouTube.
Yes.
I don't think that I don't think that they should be charged. I feel like, from what I got, he put his hands on her.
Exactly. And that seems to be what people are forgetting.
And like you can, if we're getting loud with each other, it doesn't have to go beyond that. We can get loud with each other, say what we want to say, and get on. But you got so upset that you put your hands on this woman. Like all you heard was smack, 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 and like you hit her a couple of times. Like, and she had a son, and she got her son because she obviously felt like she wasn't strong enough, or capable enough to retaliate against this man. So she went and got her son, and he, they said he went there for chicken and he left with wings.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't feel bad at all. I don't feel bad. I feel bad because of the situation and the way people react to things now. It's just nobody stepped in and tried to help this woman. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you're obligated to do things like that. Obviously, we all want to go home at the end of the day, but it's just. Maybe somebody could be like, hey, hey, ma'am, young blood, just it's not even worth it. And just
exactly,
like, and then maybe like, you know what? All right, let me just go on out.
Especially once he hit her. He hit her, nobody went to stop her. And then when the gun went off, everybody didn't scatter. I mean, in Chicago, they was like, we do
this every day. I heard 5 on the way up here.
I'm gonna tell y'all this about black folks, or I should say a lot of black folks. When we shooting at something, we shooting at a particular person. We're not in there to shoot up the club. Sometimes they are, but most of the time they shooting at somebody who done did them wrong or did them dirty. I'm not trying to condone it. I'm just trying to let y'all know. One of the things though is, like you said, it was a whole lot of grown motherfuckers around there. There was a whole lot of grown folks around there. The 14-year-old came in. He saw his mother being beat. He took care of the situation.
I
Because
mean,
mothers,
if it was my mom, I would have did the same thing. Like, and I think that's what a lot of people are alluding, are where they feel empathy for the situation because
yeah,
if it was like you just hitting. I mean, that's somebody's mother that you hit, and he
yeah,
just happened to be there.
yeah,
Like um, young boys, a lot of young men are protective of their mothers. Like, and a lot of
exactly.
young women are too.
Hmm.
So for you to just do that and in front of him, and he saw you do that.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, you can't tell anybody how to react to
exactly.
disrespect, or anything like that. You can't, especially when it comes to family. Like, I don't care if we are beefing. Like, don't think
Exactly.
about it. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. And I want to talk about that part is that we always talk about protecting our family. And a lot of the folks I grew up with only had their mother. They were raised in single parent households.
right.
And everybody knows that, you know, mamas are off limit. You don't do anything to anybody mama because they always say that's somebody's mama, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's cousin, that's somebody whatever. So you never know
Hmm.
what's going to happen. And when we were younger, mothers was off limit. Yeah, we did the dozens talk about people's mamas, but when
It
it
wasn't
came
like
to
serious like
yeah,
that. Like.
yeah, but when it came to touching somebody's mother, and this to me crosses cultural lines. Some people believe their fathers can take care of themselves, but you don't
Yeah.
fuck with their mamas. You don't mess with anybody's fucking mama. That was like one of the things. You didn't mess with nobody's mama, grandmother, whatever matriarch was in that family. You didn't kind of fuck with them. And this situation was a case of fuck around and find out. We always see these guys, these types of guys who feel they can put their hands on somebody and one day somebody gonna get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that to me is like old fashioned family protection, 80s style. Bring your ass on this block if you want to. You're gonna see what's happening. You know, everybody can say, yeah, we don't know what happened, what they were arguing about. She could have started it. I can care less about what led to that point. But at one point, he put his hands on her, and her son had to protect his mother. And
Hmm.
at the end of the day, this is a 14-year-old boy who now I believe I'm not from Chicago, but from what I've been hearing, there's parts of this the other guy's family doesn't really care what occurred, other than the fact that they felt he was murdered, and other people say no, he was not murdered. He was killed by someone
Hmm.
trying to defend their mother. Is what I know. I don't know anybody who would have not done the same if they saw their mother in the same situation.
I don't
I,
either.
I can tell you that right
I
now.
don't either.
Yeah, if I have the means to protect my mother with deadly force, it's going to happen. I'm not going to ask you no fucking questions, none of that shit. If my mother is getting hit on, I will try to end you. And I'm not trying to say that to be tough. I'm just saying. You
Yeah, it's
know
just
what I mean?
like. I
And
mean, I feel like people who are beefing with their mama,
yeah.
like you still, like that's still my mama. You can't just put your hands on her like that, especially in front of me. Like, so I just feel like the outcome, was the outcome of the situation, and I'm glad that they decided to not press charges.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let them go. Like, and the boy's not some like little hood booger. I heard he was an actor or something like that. Like, he's not into this life. So like, he doesn't know anything about that. He just knows,
Mm-hmm.
he was protecting his mother.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Now you also had some thoughts on it. I don't know if it had to do with you said it was the 14-year-old in Schumann resonance, or Schumann resonance a whole different thing, and Tony got that wrong.
it's a whole different thing.
I was about to
But
say
yeah, that
that's
was just my thoughts on it. I mean, I feel like most people are feeling about that, and that is, you know, well, you fucked around and you found out, my guy. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
death is unfortunate, but it didn't have to go down like that. But
Okay, I get it. I get it. Now,
that's all I got. I'm glad that he's back home with his mother, and he gets to continue on with his life.
but I do hope she gets him out of that neighborhood. Um,
Yeah,
just so stupid people don't do stupid shit. We already seen what happened when somebody acts stupid, but there's somebody out there who feel it's not gonna happen to them. So it's crazy, y'all. So in the comments, let us know how you feel about the Chicago store shooting, and let us know how you really feel, because I feel it could have been prevented. I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry. I am sad that it happened because it
yeah,
didn't have to. But in my opinion, none of that had to do with that mother, because like you said a couple minutes ago, it can get loud, it can get boisterous, but the second it gets physical, you got to be able to handle what's going on. You got to be, you got to, if you about that life, be about that life. You know.
yeah.
Now, in some of the other stuff I didn't know about that you came across, you said Shirley Strawberry's husband.
Hmm.
He was convicted, or was he arrested?
Not convicted, arrested.
Okay.
He was arrested on PEDO charges. I don't know if we can say that word. Sometimes they be finicky about how you say stuff. But yes, this actually was breaking news yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the YouTubers I follow, Storm Monroe, he actually broke it. He was they were on a Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Zoom call of his bail hearing, and this stuff is public, so
Yeah.
I don't know how he got the link to the Zoom, or if it was just posted after the hearing or what have you. But he was sitting, and all the people who were supposed to be there were there, who were getting arraigned that day, or getting bailed out that day, or who had a
Yeah.
bail hearing. Um,
Uh-huh.
and you could see him sitting there, but he had a mask on, so you
Okay.
couldn't even see his face. And they
Mm-hmm.
went through all his charges, like why he's a flight risk, and Buddy is not a good guy. Like, he's got a rap sheet dating back to the '90s, like, and it's not no little, he's got a lot of. And what shocked me about it is because Steve is the one that introduced. So if you guys
Uh-huh.
aren't familiar, yeah, Steve Harvey is, we all know Steve Harvey. He had a
Uh-huh.
morning show, and I grew up listening to the morning show every day on the
Uh-huh.
way to school. Listen to the Steve Harvey morning show. One of his longtime co-hosts has been Shirley Strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
So she was married to, I think, Daryl Strawberry, who was a baseball player back in the '90s, but he had a bad, he
Piece
got
of
off in.
shit too. He was a piece of shit too.
Yeah, he got in a dope off real bad. She was married to one of his brothers or something like that. She wasn't married to Daryl, but that's how she got the Strawberry last name. So she married this man. His name is Ernesto Williams, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who's Steve Harvey supposedly had introduced her to, and actually married them. So you kind of knew what kind of dude this was. You had to know. But that's another story.
Yeah.
So he's been brought up on charges. They had his bail hearing on the Zoom call. You can hear the prosecutor said, "Well, no, he's got this, and this and that. He got some other stuff. We don't want him to contact these people. We don't want naturally. It sounds like he got a public pretender, because the man that's representing him
Mm-hmm.
didn't sound like he. Well, yes. Well, I'm not familiar with this charge, and he
Yeah.
got the suit on. He got the suit with the cuffs at the bottom, with the
Yeah.
he one of them with the Payless, soft
Yeah.
soul, like that's him. Very much giving you not getting this $5,000 bill. You getting a $2 million bill. So that's what
Exactly.
was happening. And I'm not sure what the prosecutor was asked. It sounded like, from what I gathered, they were asking for a higher bail.
Okay.
And they were asking that, his wife not be mentioned in it, but the judge was like, and then it came out, I think he was, was having an affair. They
Okay.
got him a phone call,
Mhm.
trying to leave to Florida to go see one of his mistress, and then the judge was like, "Who, this lady?" And he's like, "No, SS or Shirley Strawberry or something like that." And everybody was like, what? So he got
What?
a whole lot going on. He just got a whole laundry list of things going on. This just broke yesterday. I'm going to keep I haven't heard, any updates about it. I'm going to try to see if I can find some other stuff. But yeah, that's crazy. And, Shirley Strawberry got that strawberry letter. So I'm trying to figure out why we ain't heard nothing about your pedo ass husband. So
Exactly.
talk about that. That's what we want to know.
We want to
That's what I
find
want
out.
to know.
Yeah, I'm curious about your piece of shit ass husband.
Yeah, I'm
If that's
curious
what
about the
you
piece
was
of shit ass
accused of.
husband and
What?
why he got pictures of, they didn't say that, but they were alluding to there were some pictures found somewhere that was in his possession
Mm-hmm.
that he
Yeah,
shouldn't have had.
and as much as I am messy, y'all, I do not speculate about Steve Harvey and about how friends do this and friends do that. We don't know nothing about this man's relationship with Steve Harvey.
We don't,
So,
but I've heard some stuff about Steve Harvey too. So, but that's a whole nother thing. Whole nother thing.
yeah, same here. I got a lot to say about Steve Harvey too.
Yeah.
Another peculiar story that came out here in Vegas. There was a scam at the Circa Casino here downtown. A guy posed as the casino owner and stole $1 million. Okay, now this happened at the Circa downtown. A man calls the cage, says he is the owner, and tells the cage manager to meet him at a location with this much money so he can pay off the fire marshal. And they did it. They did it a couple of times with over $1 million being stolen. Now, I don't wish no bad on nobody, but that casino cage manager need their ass whooped and to be
fired and maybe thrown in jail.
It's like,
how do you fall for that? Like, how you think you're talking to the owner of the cat?
Now, I do have my theories, and I'm high, so this might get a little off the rails. Either one, this person was working with this guy, and it was a stupid ass plan, and you got fucked up. He got busted. You may get busted eventually, but my other theory is it was some fucking pick me who worked in a cage and was trying to put their name out there. You know what I mean? You know them pick me. Like, hey, I'm trying to get ahead here. I'm trying to know who I want to know. Some dude called, oh, you the owner?
You went through all that to get this man fired, so you can take his position now. Exactly. That's a whole level of we don't need those people around us.
I'm talking about the casino cage worker. The cage worker wanted to be a pick me. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
However, this man, he had done it in Mesquite too. The same thing, imitating somebody to take money, and they give him the money. It blows.
It can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. It had to be something else.
Obviously, it's that easy. But in my head, let's be clear, people. The casino owner is not going to call the cage and ask for money on any level. That's not even the money you would use to pay.
No, don't even say that. Don't even tell nobody that, because I'm gonna go see.
That's something that goes on in a lower level store where the owner comes in and say, "Give me some money out the till." They don't do that in a casino. That money has to be accounted for, people. The money in the cage has to be accounted for. And if it was to go to the fire marshal, that's a whole different fund. So I think I think it was stupid all the way around. I think there was some social engineering as well as I'm gonna put it out there. Might have been a little bit of white privilege going on out there. Because I can't walk into a casino say I'm the owner.
Can't nobody on the screen just walk up and be like, yo.
I don't think it was the calling thing. It was the fact that they actually said they went to that location with the money and gave it to them. That didn't make any sense. You didn't think if this wasn't in your handbook on how to move, you wouldn't take money from the cage out the store. How many people were told about this before it happened? You know what I mean? I don't get it. Now
I'm trying to process that. There's nothing in, like you said, the manual that says, okay, the owner is not gonna call the cage and ask you for no money. Like, to me, even though we know that's common sense, it should be like that's the sign that says don't walk over here while it's wet because you might slip and fall. We know that, but I feel like some people still need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why there wasn't a thing in there for that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't get it. It's funny as fuck. Now you have Schumann resonance down here. Now Schumann resonance, if I'm not mistaken, I apologize. I haven't been in school in a while, but I do believe that's that has to do with lightning and energy here on Earth.
It's like the Earth's heartbeat. How they measure. Well, if we want to be romantic, it's the Earth's heartbeat. If we want to be logical and scientific, it's what they use this Schumann resonance to determine the energy output of the Earth, of the planet. So it has to do with like the magnetic field and all of that stuff. So on the 18th of June, I mean, I guess it's, people monitor these things. There are people that monitor this kind of stuff. So it's always been a certain kind of way, or always looked the same up until, it's shown very little activity since people are able to monitor it. So on the 18th, it kind of like went haywire. Like it's got all these different patterns and all this different stuff going on. And, you heard a lot of people saying, well, I kind of felt weird that day, or I wasn't feeling too good physically, or, I know a couple of people that just were either out of sorts, weren't feeling that great physically, mentally, maybe had a cough, or, maybe just wasn't popping. They're saying that has to do with that, Schumann resonance, and it's been like off the charts ever since it's done that. So people have just kind of gone up in arms about, how all this stuff's happening to this planet. The planet is finally starting to, answer back. We got orcas out here attacking yachts and things because, they're adapting to having to fight that kind of stuff off and treat it as an enemy. So we have this boat or yacht, that these people were on, and the orcas were, coming and attacking it, so they said maybe the mother is trying to teach her young because, she got injured by one,
The orcas are teaching other orcas how to upend these damn things.
Yeah, we sick of y'all.
It's affected global warming, food migrating. There's not enough seals out there anymore. They're killing off the seals, or the seals not migrating. The natural order of things. So orcas start using other things now. From what I understand, human meat doesn't taste good to animals. But it don't keep the motherfuckers from trying.
Right. They're like, oh, you killed my homeboy back in 1982. You know the
Uh,
elephants? You know that elephant that circled the block on that lady? You know, like elephants have great memories. You
yeah.
know, they
And,
remember these stuff like
and
that.
interestingly enough, so do crows.
Mm,
Crows
I
don't
didn't know
forget
that.
either, as well as crows have some sort of system to where your
Yeah.
ass can be told. You kick a crow in San Francisco, a crow in fucking Baltimore is gonna know it in a few days.
Hornets. Hornets are like that hornet will be waiting outside your door
With your
when you come
energy,
outside.
with your energy.
With your like, oh,
You
oh,
mentioned
okay.
hornet. You mentioned hornet too. Those dangerous ass hornets got
Yeah.
photographic memories.
Yeah. Ready to pop off.
Yeah. So yeah, the Earth is right because I seen a TikTok video. I didn't do a deep dive because it was like 4 a.m. I was just I was just up doing dumb shit, But I wasn't going to read too much more into it. And
Yeah.
that's true. And people started talking about when that boat started fucking around out that boat coming into the dock, and
Mm-hmm.
it just started doing dumb shit, wind and everything came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. So
People getting seasick.
yeah, the woman said, "Oh, that's what happened." The woman on TikTok said she said the water gods are mad, and then we got all this water issues. We got these issues in the air. Whatever god they feel does that. Hey, I know
Yeah.
conspiracy theory, but science is science, and that's what the human resonance was about. Yeah, it's probably going haywire, and it could be the Earth correcting itself. Only
Resetting,
resetting.
resetting itself.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Uh,
Mm.
and real quick before we get to our movie reviews, y'all, I came upon a story yesterday, and they said after an investigation, the combination of negligence and misconduct led to the suicide of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, if y'all don't know who Epstein is, I suggest you Google. But Epstein was this guy who supposedly ran an island of young girls, sometimes most of the time underage, for the elite.
Mm-hmm.
Not no regular folks, the elite. Now, Epstein had a list, and I mean, he would have this party on an island. Donald Trump's been mentioned there. Every president has been mentioned at Epstein Island, with the exception of one of the Bushes. I think it was Baby Bush, who didn't have any connection with the island. Now, in the late 20s, the late teens, Epstein was arrested on other charges, but they wanted this list that Epstein had.
Mm-hmm.
But allegedly, Epstein was then accused of trafficking underage girls. So they had him in prison, and they had him on quote unquote what they call the suicide watch.
Yeah.
However, Epstein still managed to kill himself. And they were saying that they constantly put things in there for him to hang himself. The conspiracy theory is Epstein didn't really hang himself. Epstein didn't have a reason to because Epstein had the list. And as long as Epstein had the list, yes, he was a dangerous man. There are a whole bunch of celebrities. And believe your conspiracy theories about anything, but this one right here, if you have a conspiracy theory, y'all, the ones that they have been talking about have come true about Epstein and this list, and the fact that he would die for that list, as well as his partner Ghislaine Maxwell was just convicted also, and
Mm-hmm.
she's awaiting sentencing. My issue with that, y'all, is let's release the list so people are held accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's release the list. However, no one, especially me, I wasn't surprised. They're saying everything. It's like I don't think this man died. I think this man was killed. And I don't know what type of mistake you would make with giving this man sheets when it's obvious he is on
Suicide
suicide.
watch.
There was
Yeah.
supposed to be someone watching him at all times. I guess something happened and there was a lapse in security. Come on now, people. And then he ends up hanging himself. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let us know what you think about the Epstein suicide. Are you really surprised that this information has come out? That there was negligence and misconduct on the part of the CEOs. You know, come on now, y'all.
I don't believe nothing they tell us no more. I just don't. If it sounds fishy to me, then
all right. Now, y'all, we at the spoiler alert. We're gonna start talking about movies or TV shows we've watched. Understand that we are high, and when we talk about this, we might have spoilers. So if you don't, you might want to just pause or mute or go grab something to drink and grab something to eat for the next 3 to 5 minutes. Because especially Candace. Candy, she just likes.
I get on one and I can't stop.
Exactly. This week she watched Extraction 2, which is on Netflix. You know, what do you think about it?
I didn't, it was okay. I don't remember the first one. So but I like Chris Hemsworth. I like him as an actor. I've always liked him as Thor. I think he wants to be taken a little bit more seriously now. With the roles that he's been choosing. But I still feel like, people are going to see him as an action, one of those action movie guys. Like he's a big guy, he's muscular, very manly. Okay. So that, this fits him. It fits his aesthetic. It fits what he's always done. The story, though, just didn't really, I don't know, I couldn't really get into it. So
didn't really hit you that well, huh?
Yeah, it didn't really hit me that well. I gave it a 3.5. Like there was some continuity things too that kind of threw it off too. Like he's taking cover behind a ladder. Like, but the bullet gonna go through the ladder. Like, what are you doing here? So I even though I like him as an actor, I like a lot of the stuff that he's in. This movie just wasn't it for me.
Okay. Yeah. You talk about that. You talk about this, and on this past weekend, I was high, and I found this movie, and I had no interest in seeing the movie, but I said, "What the hell? I got time tonight." I watched Fab Sex. Now, if you want to talk about ridiculous shit, and y'all, I kid you not,
you have to expect that from them kind of movies now.
But one thing I wanted to address was that when the movie came out at the premiere, Michelle Rodriguez, who plays Letty in the Fast and Furious saga, said that made a very snide comment about Marvel movies and how they go on forever and how they get ridiculous.
No, she didn't.
And I said, "Oh, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?"
Miss, I can't get another movie because I've been doing these for 10, 20 years now. Like,
now I see.
Miss, they keep trying to force this relationship when you really want to be with a woman. But go ahead.
Exactly. I had the pleasure of trying to sit through this movie extremely high, and this movie went from the stupid to the just unbelievably ludicrous shit that was happening.
I believe it.
The ninja, y'all. The ninja drove a car down a dam. A dam. He drove a car down a dam. And Jason Momoa, who plays the villain in this thing, at one point tells Dom, he says, "Hey, what are you gonna do now?" And I answered. I said, "He about to do some ridiculous dumb."
Yes. The
And
month
it proceeds to do. He proceeds to do some silly, ridiculous ass dumb shit.
they drive a car off of Mercury
Yeah,
and landed on precision.
at this point, it seems like they sat in the production room and said, "Hey,
What can we?
it don't even matter. Let's just do this shit right here." Because once they put them two ninjas in space, I was done with the Fast and Furious. I was done. Oh
Not
man,
ninjas. So they got ninjas. You know what? All right. All right.
You know what I mean when I say ninjas. I just
I
have
know.
to say it on air
I
because
know.
that's how it happened. I said I can't do it, but it was like
That's gonna be
watching.
the next one. Actual ninjas.
Yeah, it was like watching a train wreck. I gave it 3 blunts. It was only because I was high and some of the parts tickled me pink. Because it was ridiculous. Because I kept hearing what Michelle, is it Michelle Rodriguez? Yeah, what Michelle Rodriguez had said about the Marvel movies, and I was like,
Man,
the Furious have been around 20 some odd years.
about as long, if not longer. Fast and Furious came out. I think I was still in high school.
And let me tell you why it was ridiculous. Because the Fast and the Furious, they're reaching for storylines, and we start getting this impossible shit. And it's like, stop putting the impossible shit in what could be a good storyline. You know what I mean? The movies all have this weird thing going on, and they do this weird dumb shit, but the storyline itself is cool. But whatever happened to just cars and crime?
Well, first of all, we just started we were just drag racing. We started drifting. Now we in space, driving a car off of Mercury and landing on the freeway and talking about family. I don't, like.
If I was sober watching this, I would have gave it two blunts. But I'm giving it 3 blunts because it is entertaining. If you're high, I would suggest a nice balanced hybrid to watch this movie. Something that gives you the giggles because it's going to crack you up. There are parts that are funny that I don't think they wrote to be funny. But like I said, he started doing ridiculous, dumb shit. When he drove, spoiler alert, when he drove that car down the dam, no. I said, I'm fucking done.
We're not doing this no more.
I'm done.
We're not doing this no more, Dom.
Yeah, I'm done. I was so done with this shit. I was like, this is fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy. And I was just done. And y'all check that out. It is Fast X. I do believe it's on demand now.
It better be.
I saw it the hood way.
That's how I'm gonna try to find it right now because it's got to be on there. Like, because that's the only way y'all gonna get these views up. Because but they do have a fan base like that will go just like Marvel. Like people, it doesn't matter to them how ridiculous.
Exactly, it doesn't. And I get it.
Watch it and support it.
Marvel has some sort of continuity.
Yeah, and storyline, even though it's kind of crazy, but
sometimes it don't make sense, but it's crazy. One more thing before we get to your munchies. What made it laughable was the way they tried to retcon Jason Momoa's character. And when I say retcon, that means how he existed before. But you gotta watch it, y'all, because if you're a fan of the series or you've been watching the series, it does jump back and forth to different movies in the series. But the way Jason Momoa's character was introduced, you're gonna be like, this shit is laughable. You will start cracking up like, I can't believe this.
So y'all gonna say he was back in the first one?
Yeah, y'all gonna say he was
supposed to be.
Here. Yeah,
That's who it's supposed to be. Yeah, all right.
you gonna really
Okay.
do this? You really finna do this in my face?
You trying to do this? All right. Okay.
And now
Let's see.
you had a tuna melt and fries at the Del Mar Grill in the South Point. Oh man,
I did.
I said that like I was there, huh?
Yes, you did.
I said that like I was there. But this is what you had. I've always wanted to try the Del Mar Grill, but they always got $2 drink specials. So why would I go to the grill?
I mean, they have stuff though. That it's a deli, so they've got like a lot. I saw a lot of nice like pastries and stuff. Like, oh, if I had the appetite for this or I wanted some sugar, then I would try that. Like they had like uh, chocolate dipped strawberries,
Mm-hmm.
all kind of like pastries and things like that. Just I was like, ooh, this looks good, but no, I need to eat something because I'm about to drink. So I wound up getting, I like tuna melts. I grew up on tuna. A lot of people don't like tuna, but I grew up on it.
Yeah.
So and I like tuna melts, from Denny's and things like that.
Yeah.
So I haven't had something. I haven't had this in a while.
Yeah.
Let me see how it tastes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it with Swiss cheese. The only thing, I mean, I gave it 3.5 because hey, a lot of people don't season the tuna. They just put mayonnaise in it and go. Like you supposed to put things in the tuna to make it taste good. It tastes hella bland. It tastes hella bland. The fries were good. The fries were hot. And crispy. Like I like fries like that. And then give you a little dill spear with it. I like stuff like that. But as far as the tuna,
like that seasoning, huh?
yeah, I gotta put a little mustard in here. Put a little mayonnaise. Salt and pepper it. Put maybe a little paprika, a little garlic salt. Like yeah, I'm black tomato. So, but yeah, there was very much clear people, very bland, very. We just put mayonnaise in here. That's
I get it. Now, and this was just this was literally like a spontaneous trip. Bunny and I had actually went to Oha Japanese Steakhouse.
I've heard of that.
There's several of them here in Las Vegas. They're a steakhouse, a restaurant, as well as they do have teppanyaki hibachi style food. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with hibachi style is, think about Benihana.
Yeah, what they just
Benihana is hibachi style cooking. The cook cooking in front of you. We had a guy named Eason, and they do the jokes, they do the things. They're not as flary as Benihana, but the guy, he talks, he does his little spiel, but he also knows that we there talking to each other and doing things like that. And even though his thing is part of the show, he knows he don't work at Benihana. He knows he's just there to cook the food, but he does a little thing. He had the funny shit going on. Don't get me wrong. But then when it came down to the food, and I had a combo. You can get 3 proteins, fried rice, salad, and soup for like $40. And,
okay, which one did y'all go to?
Huh?
Which one did y'all go to?
We went to the one on Rainbow and Lake Mead. Across the street from the Best of the West. But yeah, we went to that one. It was fun, but I had the New York strip, the filet mignon, and I had prawns. Them prawns, when I tell you them prawns were perfect, them things melted like butter in your mouth. And everything he did, he put this garlic butter, he made it right there on the grill, this garlic butter on top of it. That garlic butter hit on everything. I'm not a filet mignon fan, so I didn't really like the filet mignon as much. I'll eat it, but I really wasn't that. It was just filet mignon. The New York strip, I got perfectly rare. The filet mignon was perfectly rare too, but it always just reminded me how I don't like filet mignon as a cut. You know what I mean? I do have a bias towards it. So, but the New York strip, it was perfectly cooked like I wanted, which is rare. Like I said, he put this butter, soy, garlic mixture on top of it. It just took it to the next level. The sides were nice, especially the little salad they had. It had the dressing made it. The dressing made the salad. It was good. It was a good experience. It was a good price, and it wasn't as loud as Benihana. Benihana is loud. It's like TGI Fridays for Japanese food. So this place was more intimate. I felt better because I could talk to my girl, and I didn't have the damn hibachi guy bothering me. Exactly. Just cook my shit, man. Just cook my shit.
Come on, man. I'm hungry.
I did give it 5 blunts. And that was because it was just a great overall experience. I gave it the 5 blunts. But most definitely, like y'all can tell, we both high because we starting to ramble a little bit.
Right.
But y'all, hey, we're at the top of the hour. We had a very good time with y'all tonight.
Absolutely.
We talked about the shooting in the Chicago restaurant. We talked about Epstein. We talked about Cheryl Strawberry's husband and his accusations of PEDO. We talked about the earth getting mad at us. So let us know what you think about any of this, y'all. Do a Google search, because sometimes, y'all, we ain't got time to be telling you this. We potheads. We forget shit a lot. So we're old too. Oh, well, I'm old.
I'm old. I'm up there. I'm 19.
But definitely, y'all, as we always say when we're ready to get out of here, y'all, there is where's the banners at, Tony? Oh, man. There it is. I see what he did now. Okay. Definitely, y'all, if there's something going on in your life and you think about harming yourself or others, please go and text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. Call or text the help you need. We want to talk with you and not about you. So we do want to thank you for joining us this week. We had some fun. Just to let y'all know, we do got some good stuff planned. We have some guests coming. I actually found a guest, so definitely I'm trying to put that in motion, y'all. And I know we don't say this a lot. Please smoke responsibly. That means if you don't know yourself, don't go out doing dumb shit like driving or operating heavy machinery. I know this sounds kind of cliche, but definitely, y'all, know your body and know how you are when you get high. And like I said, smoke responsibly.
Please.
So, exactly. So, y'all, we heading out of here. We loved your company. Thank you for joining us. That is the beautiful Miss Candy with an X. I am your boy, the Funky Monk, aka Big Brother Boss. As always, we say meditate and medicate. And until next time, my friends, stay lifted. Good night.
Good night, y'all.